Hello my dear student friends, I am very happy to meet you through this online mode during this pandemic situation. Today I am going to deal about one of the core courses that you are studying in second MSc Zoology, that is embryology and endocrinology. In this course I am going to deal about endocrinology. You know very well that in endocrinology we are going to deal about the endocrine glands and their secretions as well as their role in various activities of day-to-day life. Let us see the first topic in the fourth unit, that is classification of hormones. Okay, in this class we are going to deal about the hormones. We know that hormones are secreted by various types of endocrine glands present in various regions of our body. One among the endocrine glands is pituitary gland, which is located in the brain and which is always associated with another endocrine gland called pineal gland. And below this pituitary gland at the neck region we can see the thyroid gland. Thyroid gland is followed by another very important endocrine gland is called pancreas. And another endocrine gland present on the kidney which is called adrenal gland, and below the adrenal gland we have testes and the ovaries. These are also considered as endocrine glands. All the glands are harmoniously functioning by which different types of hormones are secreted. Without these hormones we could not do our regular activities normally. If there is a hormonal imbalance in our body, that will lead to various types of diseases as well as disorders to human being. So in this topic I am going to deal about the classification of hormones under various headings. Let us see what are hormones. Actually the word derived from a Greek word means to set to motion. I told you that these hormones are secreted by the endocrine glands. Endocrine glands are nothing but the ductless glands. They don't have any specific duct to transport their secretions to the target region or the target tissue. On contrast, another type of gland is called exocrine glands. They are glands with the ducts. Say for example, salivary gland. Salivary gland has its own salivary duct. The secretions of the salivary gland transported through the duct and it reaches the target sites. But this is not in case of endocrine glands, because all the secretions are directly poured into the blood, and the blood is a transporting medium through which the hormonal secretions are finally reached to the target cells. And let us see the salient features of hormones. Hormones are having specific features, and actually the term hormone was coined by Bayliss and Starling in the year 1905. The hormones naturally chemical messengers, and also they are signaling molecules. After binding on the surface of the receptor of the target cells, they exhibit different types of reactions by which varieties of enzymatic reactions are occurred, by which different types of new proteins are synthesized. These proteins are discharging their functions effectively in case of human being. And the hormones are with a low molecular weight and they are soluble in water. Naturally, hormones are secreted in a very low amount, and the hormonal secretion is totally under the control of nervous system. There is a close link between the nervous system and the hormonal secretion. And next we pass on to the next topic, that means classification of hormones. The classification of hormones is based on various categories. The first classification is based on the distance travelled or the hormonal effect. Based on this classification, the hormones are classified into autocrine, paracrine and endocrine hormones. In case of autocrine hormones, the hormones are secreted by a specific tissue or an organ, as well as their role is also completed within the same tissue or an organ. For example, estradiol is the name of the hormone which is secreted by the ovary, and the function is also completed within the ovary itself. Hence, the term is given autocrine. And the second category is called paracrine. In this case, the hormone is travelled for a very minimum distance and where it completed its action. For example, insulin, which is secreted by the beta cells of islets of Langerhans, and it travels through the bloodstream and reaches the nearby organ called liver, where it exhibits its reaction. And the next one is endocrine. Here endocrine secretion always travel for a long distance. Say for example, follicular stimulating hormone or follicle stimulating hormone. This follicle stimulating hormone actually is secreted from the pituitary gland, which is located on the head region and which is travelled through the bloodstream, and finally it reaches either the testicular follicle or the ovarian follicle, where it performs its functions. So, by this way, based on the distance travelled or by the hormonal effect, the hormones are classified into three types: autocrine, paracrine and endocrine. And the next classification is based on the action. See, in what way the hormones are exhibiting their role in the target cells. The hormones are classified into releasing hormone and trophic hormone. Releasing hormone always stimulate another endocrine gland to release their own hormone. We know that hypothalamus is one of the very important regions from where different types of secretions are formed. I told you that pituitary gland is the master gland, but this master gland is under the control of this hypothalamus. So, there is a close relation between this hypothalamus and pituitary system. So, this kind of link is called hypothalamo-hypophyseal system. So, without the secretions of the hypothalamus, the pituitary system never function. So, as a part of releasing hormone, the hypothalamus releases different types of releasing hormone. For example, corticotrophin releasing hormone, thyrotrophin releasing hormone, gonadotrophin releasing hormone. So, these are the few examples of the releasing hormone. Actually, they are secreted from hypothalamus and finally they reach to the pituitary gland. And another one is called a trophic hormone. Trophic hormone always supports the movement as well as survival of the another hormones. They are called trophic hormones. Trophic means the food or nourishment. The hormones controls the secretion or regulates the secretion of another hormones of other endocrine glands. For example, thyroid stimulating hormone, adrenocorticotropic hormone. So these are the hormones controls the activities of thyroid gland as well as adrenal gland. By this they regulates the secretion of the hormones secreted by thyroid and adrenal. And the next classification is based on the physiological role. Based on the physiological role, the hormones are classified into metabolic hormones, growth hormones and sex hormones. Metabolic hormones always regulates the metabolism of our body. Example is thyroxine. The thyroxine otherwise known as metabolic hormone, because the basal metabolic rate depends on the level of thyroxine. If the thyroxine level is in an imbalanced nature, different types of disorders will occur. Likewise, insulin is also a metabolic hormone because they involved in the regulation of the glucose level in our blood. And the second category is called growth hormones. Growth hormones are always regulates the growth of certain regions of our body. A specific example is called somatotropic hormone or growth hormone, which is secreted from the anterior pituitary, which is essential for the maintenance of the growth of tissues and the bones. A third category is sex hormones. Because of the secretion of these sex hormones, either from the testes or the ovary, the sexual maturity or the development of sexual organs as well as the secondary sexual characters are maintained. The examples are follicle stimulating hormone, luteinizing hormone, estrogen, androgen. All these hormones are essential for the development and the maintenance of our reproductive system and the improvement of fertility. The fourth classification of the hormone is based on their chemical nature. Based on the chemical nature, the hormones are classified into three types. One is protein hormones, and the second one is steroid hormones, and the third one is miscellaneous hormones. Let us see the protein hormones. The protein hormones further classified into two types. One is peptide hormones and another one is polypeptide hormones. The peptide hormones is normally formed of 2 to 20 amino acids. Such hormones are called peptide hormones. Adrenocorticotropic hormone is an example, whereas some of the hormones are made of more than 20 amino acid sequences. For example, follicle stimulating hormone or luteinizing hormone are the example for polypeptide hormones. And another category is called steroid hormones. The steroid hormones are synthesized from its own precursor, is called cholesterol. Since the synthesis starts from the cytoplasm, because cholesterol is always deposited in the cytoplasm of the cell, they are also called cytoplasmic hormones. And third one is miscellaneous hormones. The miscellaneous hormones either protein or steroid in nature. They have the salient features of both protein as well as steroid hormones, hence they are called miscellaneous hormones. And the miscellaneous hormones are having the power of entered into the nucleus also, where they disturb the nuclear material by which the new proteins are synthesized. Let us see the synthesis, transport and release of a protein hormone or a peptide hormone. So, peptide hormone thyrotrophin releasing hormone, or another example is called adrenocorticotrophic hormone. Actually, this active form of adrenocorticotrophic hormone is formed of 35 amino acid sequences, but when it is formed in the anterior pituitary, it is formed of 241 amino acids. When it reaches the final destination, the unwanted portions are simply cleaved or removed. For example, the adrenocorticotrophic hormone is otherwise known as corticotrophin, released from the anterior pituitary. It is named as pro-opiomelanocortin. It is formed of signal peptides, terminal peptides, and corticotrophin and beta lipotrophin. These are the four major amino acid sequences are there. But when the pro-opiomelanocortin, the pre-pro hormone of corticotrophin, reaches the intermediate lobe of the pituitary, where it is cleaved into two portions. One is called corticotrophin and another one is called beta lipotrophin. During the course of its arrival to the intermediate lobe of the pituitary, the remaining portions such as signal peptide as well as terminal peptides are cleaved off. Only the corticotrophin and beta lipotrophin are arrived to the intermediate lobe. Within the intermediate lobe, by means of various enzymatic reactions, the corticotrophin is further cleaved into alpha melanocyte stimulating hormone and CLIP hormone, whereas beta lipotrophin is further cleaved into beta endorphin and gamma lipotrophin. So, in such a way, a long-chained pro-opiomelanocortin hormone is cleaved into a specific corticotrophin and beta lipotrophin. So, the corticotrophin of the anterior pituitary directly enters into the adrenal cortex region of the adrenal gland where it is triggers adrenal gland to secrete its own hormones. The synthesis of this peptide hormone is similar to the protein synthesis, where the synthesis starts from the nucleus with the help of the two processes called the transcription and translation. And whenever the peptide hormones are stored in the cytoplasm, it requires some minerals such as magnesium, zinc and calcium, because by the attachment of these minerals, the hormones can be easily escaped from various enzymatic reactions. And finally, the release of these peptide hormones through the process called exocytosis, the hormones are released from the target cell after getting the external stimuli. But regarding the transport of these peptide hormones, the peptide hormones are always requires a binding protein, because immediately they released from the target cells, they are ready to mix with the bloodstream, where in the blood they have enormous numbers of binding protein. For example, Thyroglobulin is the binding protein, and it is also a plasma protein which is waiting for the attachment of thyroxine or triiodothyronine secreted by the thyroid glands. As well as sex hormone binding proteins are also present in the bloodstream to accept the sex hormones. There is an equilibrium, it is otherwise called dynamic equilibrium, is found or exists in between the hormones as well as the plasma proteins. Whenever the hormones are required by the tissues, this equilibrium is collapsed, by which the hormones and plasma protein complex is dissociated, and finally they discharged each other and enters into the bloodstream. Through the bloodstream it reaches the target cells. And second one is the synthesis of steroid hormones. Steroid hormones, as I told you, the synthesis is initiated and completed within the cytoplasm. There is no role of nucleus, because most of the steroid hormones needs its precursor, that is called cholesterol, which is always present in the cytoplasm itself. So from the cholesterol, the steroid hormones are easily synthesized, and by means of simple diffusion they can easily comes out from the target cell and mixed directly into the bloodstream. The hormones such as testosterone, progesterone, aldosterone are the few examples of the steroid hormones. Naturally, these steroid hormones are never stay for a longer duration in the blood, because they are easily susceptible for enzymatic reactions. So in order to escape from the enzymatic reaction, they immediately utilized by the target cells, by which they are utilized by the cells. And the next one is the miscellaneous hormones. The miscellaneous hormone synthesis is started either from the nucleus or from the cytoplasm. The thyroxine is the best example for the miscellaneous hormone. Adrenaline and noradrenaline are another example for the miscellaneous hormones, because for the storage of the miscellaneous hormones or for the synthesis of the miscellaneous hormones, they need the help of enzymes as well as the minerals. In case of thyroxine, it requires the synthesis of thyroxine requires iodination process. It requires an iodine compound. Without this compound, the thyroxine synthesis is not at all possible. Likewise, peroxidase enzyme is essential for the thyroxine hormone to become very active. And regarding these miscellaneous hormones, they are stored either within the follicles of endocrine glands or within the secretory granules of the cytoplasm. In case of thyroxine, which is stored within the follicular cells of this thyroid gland, and with reference to this adrenal medulla, the hormones of adrenal medulla, commonly called catecholamines, they are stored in the secretory granules. Some of the steroid hormones are also stored in the cytoplasm with their own precursors. For example, angiotensin II is formed from angiotensin I, which is a pre-pro hormone, released into the cytoplasm, and by the process called exocytosis and also the diffusion, the miscellaneous hormones are released into the bloodstream. And the next classification we are going to study is based on their nature of tissue from which the hormones are synthesized. Based on the nature of the tissue from which the hormone is synthesized, the hormones are called ectopic hormones. Ectopic hormones are synthesized not from the endocrine glands, but organs or the tissues other than the endocrine glands, because intestine is a part which is able to release some hormones. Likewise, thymus gland, which is able to synthesize a hormone which is called ectopic hormone. So, ectopic hormones in a nutshell we can say they are not synthesized by the normal endocrine glands, they are either synthesized by the tissues or the organs other than the endocrine glands or the cancerous endocrine glands. So, calcitonin, a hormone, is secreted by the carcinomal cells, and the vasoactive intestinal peptides, growth hormone releasing hormone are some of the examples for these ectopic hormones. Normally they are secreted by a cancerous endocrine tissues. In case of accidents or in case of any immunodeficiency disorders or in case of any cancer in the particular endocrine gland, usually the endocrine glands are able to secrete their own hormones. These type of hormones are called ectopic hormones. Thank you very much for watching the video. Thank you.